Who? Oh, that's that guy again? Hold on a minute. Okay, Jefferson County Court at law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M334274. Case is style of state of Texas versus Everett Keat Henry. Mr. Henry, is that your full name?
Yes.
Mr. Henry, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Henry, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Henry, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Henry?
Behind so far.
That's good. Mr. Henry, I have before me, before me a document, which you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska, how are you doing?
Good morning, Your Honor.
And Mr. Matuska, do you waive a record in Mr. Henry's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Henry, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Everett Keat Henry, on or about January 29 of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of failure to identify a fictitious name. Mr. Henry, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Henry, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Yes.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Henry, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials EKH on this document?
Yes,
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of the Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there's 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have another document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Henry, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you'd like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you've advised and counseled Mr. Henry. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No objection.
Mr. Henry, are you a U.S. citizen? And Mr. Henry, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Henry, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I'll also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
For a plea of guilty, the state is offering 25 days time served. The court calls sex retired in this case.
Mr. Henry, the state is offering that you serve 25 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you've already served 25 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you spent in jail is already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Henry, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Henry, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Henry, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. You're going to stand in front of our court coordinator, follow her directions and the bailiff's directions. Once you finish following their directions, you're free to follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Jefferson County Court Order number 2 is in session in 2 cases. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus James William Hunter Jr. Mr. Hunter, is that your full name?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Mr. Hunter, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Hunter, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Hunter, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Hunter?
Being great.
Okay,
Gotta
okay,
go with that.
okay. And Mr. Hunter, you represent your case on your cases by your Attorney Ben Jeffers. Attorney Jeffers, do you waive a record in Mr. Hunter's cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hunter, in cause number M331712, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, James William Hunter, on or about September 28th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to class A misdemeanor offense to drive while intoxicated, an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. Mr. Hunter, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, I do.
And to this charge, Mr. Hunter, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you pleading guilty freely?
No contest.
Oh, no contest? Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I
And
am.
are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Correct.
Mr. Hunter, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, it's the document that it.
Okay, on page 2 of the same document, there's a signature on the line next to the box that check no contingent, which means no contest. Did you sign this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, it is.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, I do.
I also have a document before me that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, it is.
And Mr. Hunter, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Jeffries, go over these documents with you?
Yes, it is.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge? State, I have before me states exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer states 1 in
Yes,
evidence?
sir.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. And Mr. Hunter, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
And Mr. Jeffries, you've advised and counseled Mr. Hunter. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hunter, your attorney, Mr. Jeffries, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Correct.
Mr. Hunter, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
For plea of no contest, the state has offered 180 days probated over 15 months. With a $500 fine, it's gonna be 500 in both. I did,
Okay,
I noted on that because, to avoid it being assessed twice.
okay.
80 hours community service, the installation of an interlock device. DWI for standard conditions of probation, and this case will run concurrent with the resisting case. File number N333144.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the court cost in this case? $377. Okay, now, Mr. Hunter, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay a standard fine of $500. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $377. You'll be required to pay a court cost of $377, a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month, is $151 a month. Will you be able to pay the $151 a month?
Yeah.
You will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DWI education class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. This case will run concurrent with the companion case, cause number M333144. Mr. Hunter, do you understand the state's offers?
Yes,
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
yes.
And do you-
One question about the community service, can I just get a bigger fine versus community service?
I don't
Because I'm
get
being-
involved in the negotiation.
Back out to work, and I'm not gonna be back for a while.
That's
It's,
up
all right,
to
it's
you.
fine, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I think they still have a program where you can buy community service hours.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because when they
Awesome.
put me on in orange, that's what I did, just paid off my community service.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Okay, so do you understand the state's offer? You understand the state's offer, Mr. Hunter?
I'm sorry?
Do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, I
And
do.
do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Mr. Hunter, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Hunter, we will move to your next case. Your next case is cause number M333144. This case is also styled the state of Texas versus James William Hunter Jr.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Hunter, in this case, I also have an information that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And in this information, Mr. Hunter, it alleges that you, James William Hunter Jr., on or about May 28th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Hunter, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes,
And to this charge, Mr. Hunter, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
no contest.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
yes,
Mr. Hunter, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
yes, I do.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials.
Yeah,
There are a set of initials on the line that's checked next to a box that's checked no contingent. Are these your initials?
yes,
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
yes,
And on the next document, it's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
yes, I do.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, I
The
do.
second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes,
I also have another document before me that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
yes, it is.
Now, Mr. Hunter, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, you did.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge?
yes,
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
no objection.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted in evidence. Court will also take judicial notice of the court's file. Mr. Jeffries, you advising counsel, Mr. Hunter, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hunter, your attorney, Mr. Jeffries, is advising counsel, are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes,
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
yes, sir.
Mr. Hunter, I'll accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement in this case?
For plea of no contest, the state is offered 180 days probate or 15 months, $500 fine, 80 hours community service, the installation, oh, never mind. The interlock condition was for the prior case. Sorry.
Right.
And this case will run concurrent with M331712.
What's the court cost in this case? Okay. Now, Mr. Hunter, state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not be required to serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 15 months. During the 15-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $397. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15, which comes to a total of $145 a month. Now, would you be able to pay that?
Yeah.
Now, in actuality, you may not be required to pay that because you're already paying a probation fee in the case that this case is going to run concurrent with. You're also paying a urinalysis fee in that case, and you're also paying a reimbursement fee. And so, in all likelihood, the amount that you will be paying a month, instead of being $145 a month, it'll probably be $64 a month. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Now, this case will run concurrent with cause number M331712, and you'll be required to perform 80 hours of community service in this case as well.
Okay.
And you actually were required to perform 80 hours of community service in each one of these cases. Now, Mr. Hunter, do you understand the state's offer?
yes, I
Do you
do.
think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes,
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Hunter, if there's not anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today.
Okay.
All right?
It's kind of my birthday. I gotta go chop my hair off and have dinner with my girl. So, yeah.
Okay, well, you said it's your birthday?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Hey,